Hello and welcome again to the Monster Sci-Fi Show. I am your host, The Monster. Today's podcast is not about any sci-fi news, but is going to be about hashtag Save Constantine. And this is the TV series that's currently on NBC and hoping to get a season 2, and we'll delve into that in a moment. But I wanted to talk about this podcast about our experience with Constantine. And my co-host for this week is going to be my wife again, who, with her lovely brain, is going to talk about Constantine, because you're the one that watched the whole series before I did, and you liked it a lot, and hence I got me to watch it, kind of like you did with Farscape. Okay, no one's going to see you shaking your head, yes.
You can't hear my brain rattling?
No, no one can ever hear that.
Oh.
You should not hear that. Alright, so with Constantine, let's start off from the very beginning. With me, I don't like magical heroes. And I don't mean that in a Doug Henning, 70s magician kind of panning out to them. I just mean, like, for me, like, heroes like Doctor Strange, Santana, Dr. Fate, they were kind of cool, but I never got into the whole magic aspect.
Well, the thing is that that's all I'm into. Not so much as the magic, but into the fantasy.
Right, and that's your thing.
Yeah, because the thing is that the way you see it, I know this is going to sound really, really weird and screwed to everybody, but the thing is that no matter how much sci-fi I watch, and there's a lot of it out there, I actually don't believe in aliens, but I do believe in fairies and elves and trolls and things like that. Because those are earth creatures. Those are creatures that are come from our imagination, and they are older than dirt. There are stories that date back to caveman times. There are gods out there that nobody knows exists. Thus spoke Zarathustra is actually a god. Nietzsche knows who he is. They made a song about him, but unless you're a Zoroastrist, you have no idea who it is. Of course, the only Zoroastrist I know is Freddie Mercury, and he's dead, so that doesn't really count anymore. However, fairies, elves, trolls, dwarves, magical creatures. That's my thing.
Right. That is your thing.
Not sci-fi, exactly. I mean, I like reading fantasy books, but if I have to read technobabble, it drives me insane.
Right. And that's why I have you on the podcast, because you're the one that's more fantasy-oriented. That's your dominance, as whereas my sci-fi is my dominance.
Yeah, I mean, I like watching the movies. I love Doctor Who.
Mm-hmm.
I love Star Trek. I know a lot more about Star Trek than you do. I love Star Wars, except for the first 3, episode 1, 2, and 3, that is, which should be dead. And Jar Jar should have been, like, left in his Jar Jar, instead of being opened.
Really? Leave the bad jokes to me. Don't get
yourself
dirty.
Okay.
All right.
Fine.
All right.
Anyway.
So the one thing that I remember back in D-Day when I was growing up, there was a Doctor Strange movie back in 1978. And the one who played Doctor Strange was an actor named Peter Horton. The only thing I've ever seen him in before was the 1977 movie called Orca, which was kind of like the...
I remember that movie.
the Jaws sequel-ish.
Yeah.
But it was a killer whale.
That's because they capture the killer whale's mate, and they kill it.
And they kill
the baby. And
then
then Orca goes on revenge.
Exactly. So
oh my god.
Personal.
I didn't realize that was like the same person.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
And then we also had Jessica Walters, who is in Arrested Development, and currently on Archer. So that movie was kind of like, for its time, it was kind of cheesy and crappy.
Yeah, but it had a really nice... the cat was cool, because the cat was the woman, the evil woman that he brought into the house. What was it, Morgan Le Fay or something like that?
Right,
yeah, they use her and everything. Oh my god. I mean, she is like the main focus.
Okay.
Merlin and Morgan Le Fay are the main characters in all of the Jack and Annie Magic Treehouse books. I mean, she's everywhere.
So, for me, magic heroes didn't work for me. I mean, I even go back as far as what is that movie? The Doctor Strange. Oh, let me go back with this. The Marvel direct-to-DVD stuff, like the Ultimates 2, Iron Man, and Doctor Strange, when they did Doctor Strange, I really didn't give a damn about Doctor Strange because it really...
What, the cartoon one? The animated one?
Animated one.
The one we saw recently?
Yeah, because I got burnt on Ultimates 2 because I thought it was crap. And then Iron Man was crap. So when Doctor Strange came out, I didn't really care as a character and whatever. But before I saw that movie, in a scene with Thor, the first Thor movie, he talked about to Jane how her ancestors called it magic, she calls it science, and on his home world, it's one and the same. They're considered the same. And that was kind of like, oh, that kind of makes sense that magic is kind of a different type of science, like a technomage, so to speak.
Yeah, which is one of the reasons why women who studied medicine and things like that during the times of, I wouldn't consider it could be considered the Dark Ages, but in reality, it was the beginning of this country in the 1700s.
Right.
They were burned as witches. Because most of the women who were burned as witches were actually midwives and people who practiced medicine. Because they're the ones who knew how to use the herbs.
Right.
They're the ones who knew how to take care of people, things like that. They didn't trust it, so they thought that there were witches and in truck with the devil, and therefore they should die. Which is really stupid, considering if you think about it, most of the women who actually confessed weren't killed. It was the women who confessed, who said that they were innocent, who really were innocent, were the ones who were killed.
Right. So that led me into finally watching Doctor Strange, because it was on Netflix, so I didn't have to pay it.
Yeah.
And I actually liked it.
No, that was a really good adaptation of whatever it was.
Because one, I never knew the origin story, and then two, the magic was done in a way that was kind of like what Thor was talking about, how the science and the magic were kind of one.
Yeah, I don't know that was the origin story.
No.
Because they keep reinventing things.
No, I know, but for the most part, because he was a surgeon, worked with his hands, he got injured, and he was looking for a cure for this.
Yes.
And that's where he found this compound, this place of mystical arts.
Yeah, and peace.
Right, to find a way to repair his hands.
Yeah.
But in the process, he becomes a learner of the mystical arts, and I saw magic being used in a different way, in which it was more like protection, like in shield and power and striking force. So I thought that was kind of a nice little different version than I read in the comics book, because it was kind of hard to gauge what he was saying. He was always sitting down in a trance with a big cloak going over his head, and I'm just like, it wasn't
a cloak. It was just he had like a really big collar, like Elvis.
I know, but I'm just Doctor Strange. That's what I'm saying. As Elvis.
Anyway.
Okay. Anyway. So, it didn't really do much for me as a hero. But, again, the Marvel direct-to-DVD, that was really good. I was happy with that.
Well, that's the funny thing, because the thing with Doctor Strange and Santana and Dr. Fate and those people like that are the ones who are actually part of groups that include Constantine. Right. He's actually part of like Justice League Dark and these other magical groups that people really don't consider. He actually supposedly had a relationship with Santana too, which I did not know about.
Who didn't?
Shut up.
Well, she wears that fishnet stockings in the top hat.
Oh my god.
She's
it's like the entire Marvel and DC universe is all couch potato wet dreams, okay? How many women really would feel that comfortable carrying around all like the 20, 30 pounds of extra weight in the front and wearing G-strings in the back, okay? Hello? I'm sorry. I don't feel like kicking a bad guy's butt by wearing something that is going to give me some kind of disease later, alright? I'm sorry.
Whatever.
Yeah, well, you're the one who would, like, benefit from it by watching me. Alright? The women don't get any benefits from wearing stuff like that. And seriously, if you're gonna go against a bad guy, would you be wearing body armor or things like that? No. They don't wear body armor. They wear, like, things that, like, go... Alright? Things that would, like, literally give you some kind of infection. If a normal person would wear it on a daily basis.
Well, here's the thing.
Okay? Without almost anything on their arms, except for, like, long spandex. Nothing on their legs, because everybody wants to see legs. And almost nothing on their front, because their boobs have to hang out in order to be able to hurt the bad guys. Because apparently they are struck deaf, dumb, blind, and they die from cleavage.
Yeah.
That has to be it, because there's no other reason why.
Of course.
I mean, I don't really see them taking their boobs and using them as batarangs to hit these people. That would make sense if they were used like that. But unfortunately, they don't come off.
To knock down nails and break watermelons and tear phone books with them. But that's a different video. Alright, we're getting off topic here. So, going back to the origin for Constantine. Okay. Shush. We have the Hellblazer book that came out, which was... He was introduced back in the, I think, late 80s.
Yes.
On Swamp Thing.
On Swamp Thing, yeah.
Which Alan Moore was writing, and Constantine was brought on, and then he was given his own book, his own title called...
Later on in 88, yeah.
Called Hellblazer. So, with their...
it was going to be called Hellraiser, but then the movie came out. And so they changed it.
Oh, okay, that's right. This is a different... another movie called that. So, yeah, he did encounter Santana. There was also the Phantom Stranger, Shade, the Changing Man, Swamp Thing, and of course, Dream of the Endless.
Yeah,
now,
it's a character, but I've never heard of him.
Here's the thing. Back when we were working at Borders, Rudy, Rudy.
Hi, Rudy.
Told me about the Sandman series by Neil Gaiman.
Yeah.
And Morpheus also goes by the name Dream of the Endless. So,
okay, well that makes sense then, because Neil Gaiman, I think, is one of the writers for Constantine. Or he's written for Constantine too, I believe.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure. I was reading something about that. I have to verify my facts.
Right.
But yeah, I believe he was part of it.
So, when I was getting into Sandman...
And the Sandman is one of the contemporaries of Constantine. I mean, they run in the same circles, I guess, if what you want to call it.
Even though I was like kind of getting into the Sandman series, I never got into Constantine. So, in 2005, I think, or 2006, the Keanu Reeves movie.
2005.
2005. Okay. So we get that version, the Keanu Reeves as Constantine,
which is completely different from the comic.
It's more Americanized, I guess.
Mainstream, yeah.
Yeah. Which
I guess,
it happens.
Mainstream.
Yeah, because the character still smokes. He has lung cancer.
He still smokes, and he's still a jerk, and he's still rude to people. But he also has I guess he still has a contempt. Well, in the TV show and in the movie, he shows contempt for supernatural beings.
Right.
Because I don't know I forget what he calls them. Because of them being on Earth and everything like that, they don't belong on Earth. He's just annoyed.
He will deal with them.
Yeah. So the way he treats Manny in the TV show, the Angel, and the way he treated was it Michael or Gabriel? I forget.
In the movie it was Gabriel.
Gabriel, okay. And and Gabriel is one of the archangels. I mean, he's like the archangel, and he treats him with as much contempt as he treats Lucifer, the fallen one. So it's like, basically, as far as he's concerned, it was like the way Rex Harrison as in Pygmalion. I mean, My Fair Lady. He treated a queen like a flower girl and a flower girl like a queen.
Right.
He basically just annoyed everybody because everybody annoyed him.
Right. Now, was Shia LaBeouf still the same character, right? Of Chazz?
Well, Chazz in the movie was never really fleshed out too much.
He was just a cab driver.
Yeah, he was his cab driver, his companion, so to speak, who knew something about the dark arts or, the mystical arts or something like that.
And he emulated or wanted to be like Constantine.
Yeah, he wanted to be him. He was kind of like, it was almost like hero worship. Like he was a groupie.
Right.
In the TV show, however, in one of the episodes, I'm trying to find out which one it is. It's the
Well, we'll get into the episodes when we get to that point.
Oh, okay. In one of the episodes, they talk about how Chazz got to the way he is.
Right.
His oldest and dearest friend. Because basically he can't die.
Right. Well, that's another question I wanted to bring up because it seemed in one of the episodes, again, we'll talk about that in a moment, that there was a limit about the number of lives, and I wanted to...
Oh, yeah. There was a limit.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
It was in... Let me see, which episode was it?
It's the one with Felix Faust.
Yeah, no. Quid pro quo. Quid pro quo.
Okay.
Yeah, Faust is mentioned in DC and some other episodes of Justice League and things like that. And then, of course, Faust, if anybody's familiar with some literature, Faust was the philosopher who sold his soul to the devil. They used the story of Faust in the Danse Macabre. When he went with the devil and he witnessed orgies, he witnessed the witch's orgy and things like that. He was a real winner. And then, of course, at the end, he was... well, let's just say that they found pieces of him everywhere when the devil finally took him home. So...
But that's not in this series.
That's not in this series, no.
So, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
All right. So, for the most part, did you like the Constantine movie, or you were like, yeah?
No, I love the Constantine movie. But the thing is that when I started really reading some of the comics, which actually wasn't easy to find, because in order to get the comics, I would have to buy them.
Right.
Because the library system had little or nothing on Constantine.
Back in the day, yes.
Yeah, now they have some more, but back before they didn't really have much.
I was looking that up. We have one copy of one book, and
I know. And the thing is that Constantine came out as Hellblazer.
Right.
So the thing is that there is Constantine Comics because they have the New 52. So it's they redid every single freaking character from DC, including Constantine. But the thing is that the original Constantine was Hellblazer. And they don't really they have nothing of Hellblazer.
Right.
I mean, when it had the Ghost Rider one, I had to do an interlibrary loan to get any copies of Ghost Rider. But as far as Hellblazer, I would have to buy them.
Yeah.
I'd have to buy all of them in order to just follow the storyline.
Right.
So, I just learned some, Wikipedia, which is not much good for anything else, but just stuff about TV shows and superheroes.
Yeah, just general stuff.
I did donate to them, by the way. Anyway. Hey, that's my source. But the thing is that Constantine, as I do know, was British. He's blonde.
Right.
And a big, gigantic pain in the ass.
Big smoker.
Papa Midnight was nowhere near as cool as Digimon Hanzo, if I'm even pronouncing his name right. Or even the guy that's on the TV show. I don't know his name.
Okay, well, actually, that leads us right into the cast.
Okay.
Because I want to talk about the cast that they have. So, for example, Matt Ryan, who is playing Constantine, I've seen that he's done a lot of episodic work on Criminal Minds, The Tudors, Vikings, and he was on an episode of Torchwood.
Oh, cool.
Season 2, episode 4 called Meat. I don't know if you remember that episode.
Of Torchwood?
Yeah.
Which one?
This is just you might not even seen it because I think you stopped after the first season. But basically, it was
if that has anything to do with after Children of Earth?
No, this is before Children of Earth.
Okay,
so
then I might have seen it.
It has to do with the shipment of meat and where were they getting the meat from.
Oh, that was cool. Yeah, because it was a giant alien that
Right.
that was kept. Yeah, that poor thing.
Yeah. So.
Michael James Shaw.
Okay.
Papa Midnight. Okay.
Okay, and then we get Manny, who is played by Harold Perrineau.
It's French.
Who, I didn't know he spoke French. He was Link on the Matrix movie, the last two, the Matrix Reloaded and Revolution.
Yes.
He was in Lost as Michael Dawson, which I saw. He was pretty much on the first season, and then he came back in a couple episodes later on.
Okay.
He's in Sons of Anarchy, which I have not yet seen any episodes, but I plan to watch that for this summer.
Okay.
Then we get Zed Martin, played by Angelica Celea. A lot of Spanish TV work, so there's no way I'm going to know any of that stuff because I don't speak Spanish. But there were some movies that she did called Cowboys and Vampires back in 2010, which I'm like, oh, is that kind of like a ripoff from Cowboys and Aliens? And no, Cowboys and Aliens came after that. So
Cowboys and Aliens may have been a ripoff of that.
Right. So we can't blame the asylum for everything.
And El Señor de Celios.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, she was born in Tucson, Arizona.
Yeah.
So I wonder if her family is Mexican.
I'm pretty sure she is. And then lastly, we get Chazz Chandler, played by Charles Halford. He's in True Detective, playing Reggie Ledoux, or Ledoux, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, another French name. That was on season 1. He was also on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., playing Agent Turner in 2 episodes called The Hub.
Oh, he was in Luck of the Irish.
You saw that one?
Yeah, it's Disney.
Oh.
It's a thing about like this kid whose family turns out to be leprechauns.
Okay. And lastly, he was in a movie called Lightspeed. I vaguely remember this because it was on a Sci-Fi channel. He played some character, I'm not sure it was Haiti or Had. But that's the one that Stanley created for the channel for that episode. And it was kind of like another superhero with superpowers. Not that I cared about it because it was just like not really appealing, but he was in it. So that's the cast that we had to work with. And before we go into episodes, I want to talk about briefly the creators of Constantine. We have David S. Goyer, who is both a writer and executive producer of the show. But if you have seen Da Vinci's Demons, Blade TV series, Flash Forward, those are the ones that he produced as well as wrote for them. And of course, we had him do the last Superman movie, Man of Steel, as well as Batman Begins. So he has a really good background in writing. Daniel Cerrone also is executive producer and writer for the show. He worked on The Mentalist, Dexter, and Charm, just to name a few. And I'll talk about a couple of his tweets later at the end of the show from him. But for right now, you got a good cast of people who really know their craft, as well as having a good amount of people that can really perform well enough, and together that it's believable. Because sometimes it's hard to have, especially in this kind of genre, to have people kind of sync well together right from the beginning. And I think for me, Constantine's relationship with Chazz really was kind of interesting to look at, but it didn't really develop until that episode you talked about, the quid pro quo, when we see that backstory for Chazz and see how that came about. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to give too much away here because I really want people to watch this, but they do at least show some connection to each other. Manny is going to be the angel that's on this show, as opposed to Gabriel that Constantine encounters throughout the whole show.
Well, Gabriel in the movie,
was
his antagonist. He was the bad guy. Actually,
no, I know, but I'm talking about in this series.
Manny but he's just like he's a cast member. He's a companion.
No, I know that's his contact with the other side. Whatever that is, that's his constant interaction with that. And of course, Zed has kind of like, not, what's the word I'm thinking of? That you can see into the future, or you're
psychic?
I guess a psychic, you for better or for worse.
Well, I don't see her as like seeing into the future. She can kind of see what's going on right now.
Okay. So it's not a psychic, but I'm not sure how you would categorize her abilities.
I don't know. Psychic. I mean, just because you're a psychic doesn't mean psychics can see into the future. It just means that they can see what's going on.
Yeah, a psychic warrior or something. I don't know. So, like a warrior, like right now, you can look at what you're talking about. So we had not a very long season to kind of delve into the backgrounds of everyone, but it was enough that it touched upon their relationship and their interactions. We had 13 episodes overall. We're hoping for season 2 to happen, and we'll talk about that after we do the breakdown. But out of the 13 episodes, I want my wife to talk about a couple episodes that she liked, and I'll talk about a couple of my favorite ones that I liked, and then we'll kind of wrap up things after that. But name me a couple episodes that you liked, Jen.
One of the episodes that I liked is... Let me go back to it. The one about the kids that were going into another dimension. Let me get the name.
Is it The Blessed or the Damned, I believe?
No, A Whole World Out There.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Just
okay.
that the character of Reggie, who was used in the pilot, comes back. So I don't know if I can't really give much else than that. And they have to deal with a man who's created his own world. And psychopathic bastard. And let me see. Waiting for the Man. That's actually the last episode.
Right.
I liked it because it had I don't know, I don't know what it was about it. I just liked it.
Was it because of how it ended, or was it just more of the overall?
I think it's just a storyline.
Okay.
And it was sad and kind of sick, because of just what's going on. But I thought it was really good. And the last one that I liked, but it was very hard, was it's 4 actually. I like Feast of Friends, which is Fred and Gary, and A Hunger Demon, which actually I did read that in a Hellblazer comic about this. I don't remember that being Gary, but then again, I don't remember the name of the character. I just remember what happened to him at the end. And Rage of Caliban, which is kind of like a possession story involving children.
Yeah. Okay. For me, I'm definitely going to start off with the pilot, the Non-S Asylum. I think right off the bat, the perfect moment that sums up Constantine's snarkiness is that he's sitting at the desk across from the psychiatrist, and the psychiatrist is reading his business card, and he's reading a master of mystical
the
art,
occult and dark arts or something. Yeah.
And he said, and I forget the line, but it was like, I think it's a little too pompous or too snark or too.
No, he's just like, so he's like, I'm gonna have to rewrite that or something. He made some kind of comment about the fact that he has to rewrite his business cards.
Yeah, because it was too pompous, to be considered a master or something to that effect. And I thought that really captured what Constantine was about with his attitude about everything that's around him. And I thought that in itself, with the climax, in which he thought he was able to rescue this girl that was from his past, and I'm not going to get into any more than that.
Well, they do. That is taken from the comics.
It is, I know. But I'm not going to spoil it. But basically, that ending, or that girl, has a connection to Constantine throughout this series because of what he's trying to do. But for the most part, I was really impressed with the special effects, because I know that we shot the ending. So it was by far one of my favorite episodes. The second one I liked is the Dance Vadou. This has to do with perhaps it was like a fallen angel. No, not that.
No, that's Papa Midnight.
No. It's Blessed Are the Damned. Sorry.
Oh.
Blessed Are the Damned has to do with a fallen angel episode. That was really good. And for me, even though I like the finale, I think the second or the second to last episode, Angels and Ministers of Grace, in which everyone, we're talking about Manny, we're talking about Zed, Chazz, and Constantine, are all really involved in this storyline. And I think Manny probably has one of the best situations in that whole episode that I love, and I can't.
An unwelcome situation for him.
Yeah. So I think it's a lot of fun to watch, because you do get moments of humor, but I think with all of them playing, in certain scenes, the humor comes out a lot more during their situations, and I think that to me it sums up everyone's relationship playing off each other, and I thought that was so well done. I was really happy with that. So, again, we're looking at hopefully another season of Constantine for season 2. And the reason why I'm even doing this podcast, because the last time I spoke about it, I've seen 2 episodes last weekend, up to that point last weekend. This past Monday, one of the executive producers, Daniel Cerrone, was going to meet with the executives at NBC to pitch another season. He had asked the fans on Twitter to go and make this trend with the hashtag Save Constantine. So when he would go into the meeting, he would take out his cell phone and show to the executives that, see, we have fans that support the show, and it is trending on Twitter, and that's the evidence that he wanted to go in when he was pitching season 2.
Did it work?
We got it.
Okay.
We were number 2 during that time at that meeting to be trending on Twitter worldwide.
Yay.
So I was really happy with that. I did my best to stream the show on Hulu because they do capture that information, because NBC re-released all the episodes that normally would have been unavailable to us. Mm-hmm. So it really worked in our favor. But having said that, excuse me, the things that they were planning to do was to introduce Dr. Fate, which we get the kind of
the
like
helmet.
The Easter egg helmet in the pilot, which is why I loved it. We were supposed to get the Spectre, which for the most part I had a very dumb moment because they kept putting that Spectre created by so-and-so. I'm like, where is the Spectre? And then, oh, that's who that's going to be. So I want to see the Spectre. We have Phantom Strange, we have the Demon. So basically it's like, if you want to see them, you have to go and contact NBC. And I will provide a link on this podcast in which you can go ahead and download to NBC, put in your name, your email, and the comments to Save Constantine, and send it to them. Because May 11th, according to Daniel, was going to be the due date for us to find out. In a recent email, we're talking about less than about 5-6 hours. He said it may come 2 to 3 days earlier than that. So that's what we have to work with, is to keep on making it known. Keep streaming any episode you have not seen. If you haven't watched the damn series, now is your time, and I'm trying to encourage everyone to start watching Constantine. Watch it on Hulu, watch it on NBC. You can stream this all online. So, with that, I'm hoping to hear as time progresses that I can report back that we definitely going to get that. But, you know, the future is going to be, and Jen pointed that out, is that Constantine hopefully will be in Justice League Dark movie that DC is going to be doing, which Guillermo del Toro had written. He won't be able to direct, but at least we're going to get Constantine. It will be great. It will be really, really great if we get Matt Ryan to come and do that movie. That'll be a good option for us to have. So I'm hoping for a lot of good things for that to happen. So again, if you're on Facebook, if you're on Twitter, use the hashtag SaveConstantine, and I'll keep doing my best, as well as I'm sure you will do your best to do what you can to support this show. So on that note, do you have anything else you want to add?
Yeah, well, a few things. One, we didn't actually make the mistake of saying that Constantine worked with Doctor Strange, right? Because that's 2 different things.
No. I brought up the whole Doctor Strange because of the whole magic element.
Oh, okay.
DC has heroes that are magical, and Marvel has magical people on there too.
So, the second thing is, I wanted to talk about my favorite magical critters people that you don't like. So, I have a whole list. And I'm going to go over them.
And that ends our podcast.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
It does too.
No, it doesn't.
It's called editing.
It's called I'm talking. Stop interrupting. Evil creature.
Oh, what are you going to do? Put a spell on me?
Nasty hobbit tricksters.
Which? What? Just get through the list. Tell me what I don't like.
Okay. 1. Hellboy.
I like Hellboy.
Well, he's one of the magical creatures
I know,
that you're like.
I don't consider him magical.
Well, he is.
Sweet.
Okay. Harry Dresden.
I haven't read that.
Yeah, but he's really good.
I know.
I've read everything that he's done so far.
And I've seen one episode of the series, so.
And I didn't like the series. Which happens sometimes. You know, if you like a movie, you don't like the book, blah, blah, blah.
And
Sometimes
Rhonda
you like
was
both.
the opposite. She liked the series but hated the books.
Yeah. Well.
Hi, Rhonda.
Hi, Rhonda. Okay. Sandman Slim.
I don't know what that is.
Sandman Slim is a character. He's a very dark character by Richard Cadre. He has a series of books. He's basically kind of like a seraphim in a way. Not exactly a seraphim. He's basically half demon, half angel kind of thing. Okay? Kate Locke wrote 2 books, Long Live the Queen and God Save the Queen, where, if you recall, a lot of the royalty in Europe had a problem with hemophilia because of all the inbreeding and everything like that. Well, in this one, it goes a little bit farther than that, because they actually turn into vampires. And
like all inbreeding leads to anyway.
Well, hemophilia, you know.
I know.
So, anyway, it's actually pretty cool. Kim Harrison with the whole Hollow series, which I believe is 14 books. I've read the whole thing. Charlene Harris, The True Blood, Suki Stackhouse.
Yeah, but that's
No,
vampire.
I've read, yeah, but it also has panther. It has weird panthers and everything. Okay.
They're panthers.
Okay. Marjorie M. Liu, Liu. She has a series called Iron Hunt. And what's cool about that is, anybody's ever remember like one of the sci-fi commercials where a guy has all these tattoos on him, and he goes to the store and he starts buying all these things, and he has a feast, and all the tattoos come out of him and start eating, and they have like a feast together. In this story, she actually has these tattoos that live on her. They're part of her. They belong to her mother. When her mother was killed, they moved on to her. And they protect her. Literally, if anybody tries to shoot her while those things are on her, which is like during the day, they're literally like armor. You could stab her, you can shoot her, and it will not penetrate her skin. However, at night, when they come off, they go and they work with her and they hunt and they stop bad guys and things like that. It's really, really a cool series. Anyway, Kate Griffiths has a series about a character named Matthew Swift. Matthew Swift was actually a sorcerer, and he was like, I guess, like an urban sorcerer. He worked within the magic of the city. Okay? And he has 4 books, Madness of Angels, The Midnight Mare, Betrayed by the Neon Court, and Minority Council. There is a new series, an offshoot character from that, but I haven't started reading it yet. And that's it.
Yay!
Yay!
The list is done.
And
so is this podcast.
Yay!
Okay. So, with that, you can go ahead and email me at monsterscifishow@gmail.com. Here's my cat. You can find me on Twitter, Monster Sci-Fi Show, with the Scifi handle. SYFY. And that's about it.
And you can send birthday greetings to our cat on May 7th, because that will be her 18th birthday.
Which means she's about 90-ish.
Something about 90-ish years old.
Yeah. So
very old kitty.
Old lady. All right. Yeah. So, guys, again, please do your best to save Constantine. And perhaps even read some of the books that my wife recommended.
Yes.
So she can tell me, see, people listen.
Yes.
Besides, no one. All right. So, that ends the Monster Sci-Fi Show podcast. Sci-fi from a certain point of view. Good night, folks.